Good evening, students. I welcome all the participants for the day 14 for the course Cyber Security. So let me share the screen for the presentation, today's presentation. If the screen is visible, okay, sir. Let me continue. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay, good evening, participants. Okay, let's see the fourth unit. The topic we are going to see is cyber security awareness. So in the yesterday session, we have seen what are the cyber security properties, cyber security models we have seen, and what is meant by cyberspace we have seen, what are the threats involved in cyberspaces. Yes, sir? Okay, let me try again, sir. Check whether now the screen is visible or not, sir. Is it visible, sir? Okay, okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. So the objective of today's session is to make you known about the cyber security awareness, and the outcome of this session is that the students may be able to understand the cyber security awareness. Okay, these are the outlines of today's session. We are going to see what is meant by cyber crime and what are the available computer viruses for there, and online fraud and cyber terrorism, and what are the security guidelines possible to make aware of all about the problems and social media. Okay, we are going to see all with these topics. So in the previous section itself, we have seen what is meant by cyber crime. That is cyber crime. So it is nothing but the crime is taking place with the help of the computer, which is used as a tool or the target object. So with the computer and the internet, you can go with the crime maybe going with stealing some personal information that will lead to a malicious, that is illegal imports or transactions of any malicious program. So it's a unlawful act. So criminal activities done via the internet and the computer, with the help of the computer, that is called as cybercrime. So there are some of the weapons of cybercrime listed here. They are hacking, data diddling, denial of service attack, email bombing, Trojan attack, web tracking, virus worms attack, Salami Attack, phishing, spamming, cyber stalking. So yesterday we have seen some of them. So we'll go with deeply. So what is meant by hacking? So the hacker will do the hacking job. So it is nothing but the unauthorized access to anyone's computers, okay, or network is known as hacking. So this is the accessing of information of someone's computer without some proper authorization. That is called as hacking. Okay. And what is data diddling? So here the person will go for altering or modifying the data which they are having just before the computer processes it, and after changing it back and then they will change it back after the processing is completed. So before and after the data will be altered. That is called as data diddling. Okay. And denial of service attack. So here this is a specific attack in which the computer is flooded with so many number of requests, so that it cannot handle that much of requests. So the system goes into a trash. Okay. So one major example of denial of service attack is distributed denial of service attack. So DDoS will serve this, will be flooding some more requests to the system. Okay. So next, email bombing, that is sending a large number of mails to the victim. So which may be an individual or company. So resulting into crashing the system. Okay. So next weapon of cybercrime is Trojan attack. So Trojan horse is a virus. Okay. So this is in the software field. This means an unauthorized program which passively gains control over the another computer. Okay, by representing itself as an authorized program. So it itself depicts as an authorized program, but it's like an unauthorized program which gains some control over the particular system. Okay. So the main common form of installing Trojan is through email. Okay. Next comes web chat jacking. So this term is derived from the hijacking. That is, the hacker gains access and control over the website of another. So they will be controlling over the another website. See, they will go on changing the information of the website. See, they'll do whatever they need. See, they'll go and changes the visual appearance of the web pages. Okay. So this may be done for fulfilling the political objectives or for money. Okay. That is web jacking. Then next comes virus or worm attack. So viruses are the programs that will be being attached to the computer or a file. So then that will be spread widely inside the computer so that it will damage the other programs which are that is stored in your computer system. So they usually affect the data on a computer either by deleting it or editing it. Okay. So worms, unlike the virus, they do not need the host to attach themselves. So what they'll do is the worm attacks will be making so many number of copies of themselves. Okay? And they will do repeatedly till they eat all the available space on the computer's memory. Okay. The next weapon is Salami Attack. So Salami Attack is a kind of crime which is nothing but the purpose of committing the financial crime. Okay. So this type of offense is nothing but the alteration or modification is very small, but it won't get noticed. Okay. And the next weapon is phishing. So see this picture. So the fish is going to catch the food, but the person who is feeding is not. His motive is not feed the fish. So his motive is to attract the fish towards him. Okay, that's the main motive here. So based on that, the phishing refers to the receipt of receiving some unwanted emails by the customers of the financial institutions. So requesting them to enter their passwords, username, or personal information to access their account for some reason. So after accessing, so here you can see this picture, Amazon. Here you can see www.amazon.com, which is the spoofed website URL. So it is not a virtual one. Okay. So after getting all the details, the fraud person will do accessing all the customers' online bank account, and they can go for transacting the funds contained in that particular approach. So we must be very careful. Okay. Next, the spamming. So spamming means it's use of electronic messaging system, that is to send more number of email messages, okay, especially advertising or indiscriminately. So the most common form of spam is email spam. Okay. Next comes the cyber stalking. So cyber stalking means stalker. Who is a stalker? So the crime of illegally following and watching someone over a period of time. They are called a stalker. Okay. So cyber stalker means the person, unknown person, will going on doing the harassment activities or threatening someone. Okay. They will be following that particular person and going for threatening that particular person. Okay. So cyber stalking means illegally following and watching someone over a period of time. So that it's a crime activity. Okay. So cyber crimes in India. You can see almost 6 million offences committed last year. So meaning around 1 in 10 adults in the population fell victim. Okay. The majority of the cyber crimes are centered on phishing activity, identity theft, and hacking and online and harassment. These are some of the major cyber crimes which are carried out in India. So India is the third most targeted country for doing the phishing attack after the US and UK. So social networks as well as the e-commerce sites are major targets, and 70% of the adults online have experienced the cybercrime on their mobile phones. So India is #1 country in the world for generating the spam emails. Okay. So 34,371 sites were being hacked and infected in the year 2017. Okay. So here you can see the picture. So number of cybercrime cases were being reported in the state-wise in India. So this has been counted for the year 2015 and 2016. Okay. So which state is having the more number of cybercrime cases reported were Uttar Pradesh in the year 2015 and 2016. Okay, next comes Maharashtra. Okay. So here also you can have a analysis over this slide. Cybercrimes in India. So these are some of the cybercrimes carried out in India. There is online banking, FB, there is Facebook related, email hacking, sexual harassment, lottery fraud, data theft, job fraud, Twitter related, and total cases reported were 3,474 in the year 2017 and 2,402 in the year 2016. Okay. So more cases have been reported in India. Okay. So what are safety steps to avoid the cyber crime? So far we have seen what are the weapons used for cyber crimes. We have seen virus worms attacks, phishing, spamming. Okay, so many weapons have been used, and this slide is to know what are the safety tips to avoid the cyber crime. So secure your computer. So how can you secure your computer? By installing your firewall, antivirus software, anti-malware software, so that will block the spyware attacks. Okay. So be a social media savvy, that is checking your security settings frequently, and be careful what information you post online. Whatever the information you are giving online, that should be accountable. Then once you are giving, that should not be used by the unauthorized people. Okay, once it is on the internet, it is there forever. Okay, so be careful about that giving whatever the information you are giving, your personal identifications. Okay, be aware that your mobile device is vulnerable to virus hackers. Okay, don't download applications from the trusted sources. So do not open the email or attachments from the unknown sources, unknown senders. Okay. So keep your operating system up to date and with the critical security updates also and patches. Okay. So frequently you have to update your operating systems of your computer also, and keep your information up to date. If you change your address, you can inform the bank immediately. Okay. And secure your wireless networks. That is, you can go for avoiding the conducting financial transactions or corporate transactions on these networks, and protect your e-identity. So be cautious about giving your personal information such as your name, your address, your contact number, any financial information on the internet. That is while you are making for doing the online purchases. Okay. So avoid being scammed. That is always think before while clicking on a link or unknown file or unknown link or unknown origin. So avoid clicking on those unknown sources or links. Okay. And call the right person for help. Okay. So if you suspect any computer crime is carried out in front of you, then you can go for identifying that particular theft or commercial scam and report this activity to the local police. Okay. So what is meant by data theft? So data theft is nothing but what are the information you have that is stored in a computer system that is being illegally copied or taken for the others content without their knowledge. That is data theft. Okay. So this information may be a user's information such as password, social security numbers or credit card numbers or any other personal information or any confidential corporate information. So without knowing one's knowledge, the information is being theft means that is called as data theft. And what is email spoofing? So email spoofing is forgery carried out in the email header part, so that the message appears to be coming from the original source. Okay, so it will be coming from the original source, someone other than the actual source. Okay. So email spoofing is a tactic used in phishing and spam campaigns. Okay, because people are more likely to open an email when they think it has been sent by a legitimate source. Okay, so be careful in opening any unknown mails. Okay. Then comes copyright violation. So copyright in the sense you should not go for using the others' work or others' publications' work without their knowledge. Okay. So it's a copyright infringement or copyright violation is the unauthorized or prohibited use of work covered by the copyright law. So that should be very sensitive situation. So we should be very careful about that using the copyrighted content. Okay. Next comes the child pornography. So pornography means that exploits the children. So it covers the children for sexual stimulation. So it's also a cybercrime activity. So it may be produced with the direct involvement or sexual assault of a child. Okay. So it refers to the images of films, also that is also known as child abuse images, and in some cases writing depicting sexually explicit activities involving a child. So this is a record. Child pornography is a record of child sexual abuse. So these are all the activities that is being carried out. It's actually a crime activity. Okay. Online gambling. So online gambling involves poker, casinos, sports betting, etc. Okay. So the first online casino was introduced in the year 1994, and many countries restrict or ban this online gambling because it is legal in some provinces like in Canada and most countries. So also it is gambling is illegal in India. So according to the Public Gambling Act 1857, all the gambling activities were banned in India, were illegal in India. Okay, so coming on to the forgery. So forgery means you can see this picture, the certificate. So you can go on producing the fake certificate. So whatever the documents will be predicting your original certificate. That is forgery. So it's the process of making, adapting or imitating the object, statistics or documents with the intent to deceive for the sake of altering the public perception or to earn profit by selling the forged item. So, okay. So your forgery means making the false document. Okay. So next cybercrime is web defacement. So this kind of the thing is we have discussed in the yesterday's session itself. So website defacement is an attack on the website. So the hacker will change the appearance, front page of the visual appearance of the website. So they go on. They will break into the web server and replace what are their hosted websites with one of their own. So they will replace with their own contents on the website. So altering the contents in the website, that is called as web defacement. Okay. Next cybercrime is software piracy. So software piracy is nothing but the stealing activity of a protected software. That is software piracy. That is the act of stealing the software is legally protected. Okay. So this stealing means it's a kind of act like copying the software or distributing the software from one user to another user, or modifying the software or selling the software. So all these activities includes. So in short, we can say software piracy means unauthorized copying of the software. Okay. Okay. Next comes illegal online service. So it is becoming increasingly common to find the cases where the sale of illegal articles, such as counterfeit currency, counterfeit branded products, narcotics, drugs, weapons, wildlife, etc. So some of these illegal articles, okay, being facilitated by the internet. That's illegal online service, which was considered as a cybercrime activity. Okay. Next comes cyber defamation. So cyber defamation is nothing but a crime activity. It's the publishing of false statements about an individual in the cyberspace. So that will affect the particular person's reputation. Okay. So next, so far we have seen cyber crimes, and we have seen what are the security tips to overcome the cyber crime. So next comes the computer viruses. So computer virus means it's a software, malicious software program written intentionally to enter into the computer system without the permission of the users. Okay, so it has the ability to replicate or to spread inside the computer system, and it will go on harm the computer system, also harm the data inside the computer. Okay. And it will slow down the performance of the computers also because of virus penetration into the computer system. So virus never should be assumed harmless and left on a system. So you should not be The thing is that it won't affect our computer system. It will reduce the performance of the computer system. Okay, so there are so many different types of computer viruses that can damage your computer system. So you'll see these are the types are listed here. So companion virus, FAT virus, resident virus, direct action viruses, polymorphic viruses, directory viruses, macro viruses, boot viruses, override viruses, file infector. So these are the types of viruses, computer viruses available. So we'll see one by one and how to, we'll see all the ways how to overcome all these computer viruses. So resident viruses means it's a kind of computer virus that hides and store it's within a computer memory. So resident virus will reside in the computer memory. Okay, so which then allow it to infect any file that is running on the computer. Okay, then comes the direct action virus. The virus that attacks or start to work immediately. This includes non-violent and less often violent activities which target the persons or groups or property demand offensive to the direct action participants. Okay. Next, override virus means so whatever the programs you are having in your computer system, that will be deleted, and this virus will be overwritten on the particular data or particular file. Okay, it's a malicious program which, after the infection of this override virus, will destroy the original program code, and they will go on override on the particular system's memory. So that is override virus. And next comes the boot virus. So this is the type of virus will infect the boot sector of the floppy disk or master boot record of the hard disk. Okay. And next comes the macro virus. So macro virus is a computer virus written in the same macro language that are used for the software programs, including Microsoft Excel or word processors such as Microsoft Word. So when a macro virus infects any software application, it causes some sequence of actions to begin automatically when the application is opened. Okay. So next virus is directory virus. So directory virus means so you might have used some directory. So inside the directory you will be having some collections of folders. Inside the folders you will be having some collections of files. Okay, so this directory virus will do, it will change the paths of the that indicate the location of the file. So we could not find the particular location of the file. That's the main functionality or main purpose of the directory virus. Okay. So once infected by the directory virus, we could not find the location of the actual file where it resides. Okay. Next virus is polymorphic virus. So this is a complicated computer virus that affects the data types and functions which are used in the program. Okay. It is a self-encrypted encrypted virus designed to avoid the detection by the scanner. Okay, upon infection, the polymorphic virus duplicates itself by creating the usable, albeit slightly modified, and copies of itself. Okay, so it will affect the data types and the functions used in the program. Next is file infector. So file infector virus is also known as parasitic virus. So that will go on infecting the memories and executable files. So better, instead of trying for any other method, it is better to use the removal software to get rid of this virus. Okay. Next comes the FAT virus, that is file allocation table. Say this is a table that the operating system uses to locate the files on the disk. So due to fragmentation, a file may be divided into so many number of sections that are scattered around the disk. So this FAT will keep track of all the pieces. So next virus is the companion virus. picture, that is two program files are being listed here. Okay, it's a virus that stores itself in a file that is named similar to the another program. So both the programs are having the similar name. Okay, that is called as companion virus. When that file is executed, the virus will infect the computer, such as deleting the original files on your computer hard drive. Okay. The first known companion virus was the globe virus, which was first detected in the year 1992. Okay, so far we have seen what are the available computer viruses over there. So now we have to find the solutions to computer viruses. So the main thing is that the usage of firewall. So ensure that the desktop firewall is in place. Okay. So the firewall is a software or a hardware that acts as a filter between your computer or the network and the internet. So this firewall will prevent unauthorized access to your computer, and it also prevents or stops some virus or worms, attacks, anything else. Okay. So and use the antivirus software and check for your computer for viruses, and some alerts will be coming while the virus comes into your computer system with the help of the antivirus software. Okay, and there is the important thing, you have to go for updating your antivirus software frequently. Okay, it is highly advisable to avoid the disclosing the personal information as much as possible while using your online network. Okay, and be careful about sharing the files and downloading the software from the internet, as they can easily spread the viruses and hide the spyware. Okay, can take up the backup from in the form of CDs and DVDs. Okay. Okay. So here you can have the solutions to computer viruses. First, in the first picture, you can see the firewall, and in the second picture, you can go on with using some antivirus software, spyware software, and you can also take up a backup in the form of CDs, DVDs, anything else. Okay. Okay. So next, we can see online fraud and financial transactions, instructions to avoid the online financial fraud. So what is the definition for online fraud? So online or internet fraud. So it can be defined as any type of intentional deception. Deception means deceiving. You are being deceived. So overall using the internet. So it includes the fraud that occurs in chat rooms, message boards, websites, and through the email. Okay. It occurs in the form of deceitful solicitations and fraudulent transactions, etc. Skimming activity or loss or stolen cards, identity fraud, anything else. So there are so many types of online frauds are listed here. The first online fraud is skimming, identity fraud, credit card fraud, social media impersonation, postal interception, email fraud. So we should be very alert among using all these online frauds. Okay. So what is in this skimming? That is when someone copying the data from your card. So whether the card may be a debit card or credit card, the card's magnetic strip onto another card without your knowledge. Okay, that is called as skimming. So copying all the data from your card and accessing the same credentials after not knowing the owner of the card. Okay. So it can happen anywhere, cash machines, that is ATM machines, shops, bars, restaurants, and petrol stations. So always make sure that you can see your card when you are making a transaction. Okay. So don't let them away from your site. So make sure that you can see your code, whatever the code you are going for online transaction, money transactions. Okay. So identity fraud. So identity theft is a deliberate use of someone else's identity, their personal information. Usually this is a method to gain a financial advantage. So obtaining their credit card and other benefits in their other person's names, etc. Okay. Next one is credit card fraud. So this is a wide-ranging term, often becoming very popular theft and fraud committed involving a payment card, that is credit card or debit card. Okay. So with that credentials of card details, they can go for easily transacting the funds. Okay, that should be avoided. The crime activity. The next comes the postal interceptions. So if you are expecting a new card or new checkbook through the post, if it is not arriving at your site, then you can make a call over the bank immediately and report to the local post office also. Okay. Next, social media impersonation. So what I mean the impersonation? So it's impersonation online refers to the act of creating an online presence in someone else's name. Okay, that is nothing but creating a fake account on the social media. So it is very hard to identify the original person. Okay, so creating the fake social media account is social media impersonation. Okay, next email fraud. So email fraud is intentional deception. Deception means you are deceiving some person. Intentional deception made for a personal gain or making damage another person through email. Okay. Okay. So how we can avoid all these such kinds of online financial frauds? The thing is that buying and selling online is just as safe as ordering goods over the phone. But you should be aware that dishonest people may try to convince you to get your card details or personal details. So don't provide the personal details in the online transactions. Okay. So prefer cash on delivery of goods. Always you can go on preferring the cash on delivery. So because it is a way to avoid providing your personal details like debit card number and PIN number, etc., etc. Okay. So before you buy anything online, make a note of the address of the company that you are buying from. That's the main thing. And the details of the phone number, fax number. So never rely only on just the email address. Okay. So it is of utmost necessity that is you should use a secure website always. Okay. So secure website, how can you aware of this? So it should be like this, HTTP, yes. So this yes is referring secured website. Okay. So without the S, HTTP is referring unsecured website. Okay. So these websites have HTTPS in front of the website address, which indicates the company has been independently checked to make sure that who they are. Okay. So you can see whenever that is displayed on your browser, yellow padlock symbol will appear in the browser window. You might have noticed that to show the payment process, which is secure when buying online. Okay. So make sure that it comes on the browser window, yellow padlock symbol. Okay. So the other thing to bear in mind should include the following: that check the returns policy of the product when you buy it from online, and take the printed copy of the order and the acknowledgement you receive, and check your bank statement carefully against anything you receive. Okay. So and continuing avoiding online fraud, staff can go for not writing any passwords and PIN numbers either in notebooks or any slips, anything else. Don't do anything anywhere. Write your PIN numbers anywhere. Okay, and use a strong password with a combination of letters, numbers, and symbols. And don't write the password anywhere. Okay, familiarize yourself with website's privacy policy, especially if you are asked to provide some confidential data or personal data. So, and you will protect yourself by keeping in mind that internet provides criminals with an easy way to contact thousands of people at a time. So, example include emails offering the chance to take part in money-making schemes or claiming that you are the winner of the prize draw. So, avoid all these such kinds of things online. Can also avoid being a victim of internet fraud by doing the following. Remember, if someone sounds too good to be true, it is usually better to seek independent financial advice before making the investment. Okay, so do not judge a company on how professional its website may look. Okay, so if any doubt, you can go for checking with the company's genuineness by looking its profile on the company's house or financial service authority websites, anything else. Okay, so make sure all of these have to ensure. Then you can go on with the audit. Okay, so far we are seeing cybercrime and what are the statistics to overcome the cybercrime activities, and we have seen what are the computer viruses, types of computer viruses over there, and how to overcome all these computer viruses we have seen. Next, we have seen, we are going to see cyber terrorism. So, cyber war and cyber terrorism. So, always there are ways to prevent cyber terrorism, how far it's happening. So, what is in the cyber terrorism is the thing, with the help of the computing resources, they will go on harm the people and form the place where the people resides, form the system, computer system that they depend on. Okay. So what are the characteristics of cyber terrorism? The act must have a scale, publicity, and cyber terrorism is safe and profitable, and it is also difficult to counter without the right expertise and understanding of the cyber terrorist mind. So relatively anonymous. So unlike the other acts of terrorism, if the cyber terrorist loses today, he or she does not die. He or she learns what did not work and will use that information against you tomorrow. So you should be very careful. So what is cyber warriors? So cyber terrorists will make certain that the population of the nation will not be able to eat, to drink. The people should not move anywhere. They should not be able to live also. So they will think in such a manner. Okay. The psychology of modern warfare and hacking depends on how many percentage it is being listed here. For fun, 31.4%. Want to be best defacer, 17.2%. No reason specified, 14.7%. Political reasons, patriotism as a challenge and revenge. Okay. Here you can see there are several forms of cyber terrorism. It's a privacy violation. So violating one's privacy, and secret information will be unauthorized access of secret information, and data theft will be carried out with this cyber terrorism, and demolition of e-governance base and distributor denial of service attack. So they will be going for supplying or giving some DDoS attack also. Okay. So the critical infrastructure affected by cyber terrorism, there were some of the infrastructures are listed here. Government operations, emergency services, telecommunication, electrical energy, gas and oil storage and delivery, water supply systems, banking and finance, and transportation. So all these infrastructures that are being affected by the cyber terrorism. So what are the factors that contribute to the existence of cyber terrorism? Means dependence on network infrastructure and the internet, lack of understanding the security risk, lack of funding, and prescription that steps to combat cyber terrorism will make life inconvenient and difficulty in tracking the cyber terrorists also. Okay. Then there comes the direct cost implications and indirect cost implications. And who are the cyber terrorists? So they are nothing but the crackers. So the transition may be motivated by money or prestige. So already we have seen hackers. What are the types of hackers we have seen? White hat, grey hat, and ethical hacker. This is white hat, grey hat, black hat. Okay. Okay. So the main weapons used are building or office security, desktop or laptop computer security, network security, disaster recovery planning. Okay. So here are some of the tips listed to prevent from the cyber terrorism. So cooperate and share the intelligence among all the agencies. So learn the new rules and new technologies and new players. And the tools of a counter cyber terrorist team must be the real time and dynamic, as the weapons will continually changing. Okay. So make building network and desktop security a priority one, and report the instances of cybercrime to a local agency, law enforcement agency, and recognize the most vital information and always keep it in the safest possible place. So develop a strong password and disable any application that seems unnecessary. If it is unnecessary, then you can go for disabling that particular application. If you are ever unsure about the safety of a site, then go on. Or if you are receiving unsuspicious emails from the unknown address, so don't go on accessing the particular email. So it could be make into trouble. So avoid accessing all those such kinds of activities. Okay. Next, we can deal with the cyber security guidelines. So there are four kinds of cyber security guidelines are provided. So one is banking security guidelines, internet security guidelines, mobile security guidelines, and system security guidelines. So these are the guidelines which are provided to make the security in a proper way. Okay. So coming on to the banking security guidelines, if you are going with a direct banking, always it's the best approach to avoid the cyber frauds. Okay. So URL address in the address bar of your browser, if it begins with the HTTPS, so I have mentioned in the previous slide itself, if it begins with HTTPS, then it means it's secured. So see here, the following types of URLs or may not be secure. See, HTTP://. So it shows that the website is not secure. So after that, you can see some websites URL or listed here. HTTP, yes, it shows that something, it is secured website. Okay. So you have to be very aware that you are using a secured website while doing any online transactions of banking, okay, anything else. So use internet banking on public networks, which involves using that internet banking on public networks becoming a higher risk. Public network in the sense, if you are going for browsing centers and doing the online transactions, banking transactions, it's putting to a high risk. So avoid all those such kinds of online transactions on public networks. The hackers can easily steal your passwords through the public networks, browsing centers, or they are called as public networks. So while using the internet banking on public or private networks, try to use the virtual keyboard. So here you can see the virtual keyboard. So this is the main tips to follow to avoid the password theft from the keylogger. So keylogger is the password stolen software. using this software, that the hackers can easily steal your password. So avoid using the typing on the directly your user ID and password. So better go on with the virtual keyboard. Okay. Then the password should be unpredictable, so that the hackers cannot predict your or find the password. So and it should be difficult to trace your password also. Also always use the alphanumeric characters to set the stronger password. So for example, you can have the example for weak passwords, there is satellite. Example, all characters in the example 1, and in example 2 all are numeric ones. So avoid using all such kinds of weak passwords. Go on with the strong passwords, the combination of alphanumeric and some special characters. Okay, so make sure that your mobile PIN is different to your banking application PIN also. If it is similar, then the hackers will go on with the hacking, or they'll be going with stealing your personal information. So change your password for every 30 days to avoid the cyber attacks. Okay, so don't write passwords anywhere on the notebooks or slips, anything else. Your PIN numbers, mobile phone numbers, system or on the systems, or don't write the PIN numbers on the mobile phones or system or notebooks. So it says you are creating the way to being kept. What are the things you are having? Okay, so don't do like that. Okay, so interlink your mobile number with that of a bank account, so that you can receive some alerts from the every transaction. Okay, so if your ATM card is lost, then you can go on with blocking your ATM card via the internet banking, or by intimating to the bank immediately. Never provide your personal details over the phone to someone who calls you. Okay, so links while using the internet banking, which may be created by the hackers. So otherwise there may be a possibility to steal all your bank details. Okay, so never allow anyone whom you don't trust to control your PC. So don't allow that such kind of activities. So I'll always sign out or log off from the password protected website. It's a very common usual thing we do. We'll go on further to sign out from the website. So please always make sure that you are signing off from that password protected website in order to prevent the unauthorized access. So far we have seen the bank security guidelines. Next we are going to see the internet security guidelines. So make sure that your password is at least 8 or more than 8 characters, and it should be a combination of all the characters, numbers and symbols. So don't use the same user ID and password of other sites to your personal financial account login also. For example, if your bank account password should not match with the password of your email. So for the bank account, you should maintain a different password, and for the email account password, you have to maintain some other password. Should make sure that you should not use the same password for different accounts. Okay. So don't any of your identity card numbers, like ration card, the numbers in ration card or electro ID, whatever the numbers you are having in ration card, don't use that as your identity card numbers, as your PIN numbers or passwords. Okay, please avoid such kind of activities. Okay, so never respond to your any pop-up mails, emails, SMS, or phone calls, no matter how appealing or official looking, seeking your personal information such as username, password, mobile number, ATM credit card, such communications or sent or that will be created by the fraud people to trick you to giving your card credentials. So never respond to any such kind of activities. So don't give up more personal information in social networking sites. So if you give more information, then it is very easy for the hacker to hack all your information. Okay. So don't open email attachments from the strangers, because email attachments from the strangers may contain the virus, so which may affect or damage your computer systems, which may degrade your system performance and data privacy also. So don't install free software from unknown source or unknown sites. Okay. So this may steal your information from your computer and send it to the unidentified evil sources. Okay. So be careful about the messages with the links. So you might have receiving some messages with the you have won the prizes and you can click this link so and so. You can provide all the details so that you can win the prize of so many dollars. So avoid such messages or avoid clicking on to the particular links also. Okay, be careful about that message with the links, whatever you are receiving on the social networking sites. Okay, so keep your computer operating system and browser up to date. So you have to update all the operating system, whatever you are using in your computer system, and whatever the browser you are using, you have to keep in an update manner. Okay, with the latest software. These may be called patches or service packs, which should be installed as soon as possible. Okay, also install a firewall and antivirus software package in your computer. So these software will help you to detect the virus or remove the virus and spyware which can steal the vital information from your computer system. So never buy any product that from online store that doesn't offer a secure mode of transmission. So providing your personal information and credit card numbers to those online store involves the high risk. So please avoid going for online stores. Okay. Never allow the children to use the internet. Okay. Without the supervision of parents, because they don't know the proper way of using the internet. So this may mislead to by the evil threats dumped in the internet. So avoid do so by such activities. Don't engage children in the internet. Okay. So next comes the mobile security guidelines. So nowadays mobile phones becoming an essential communication tool for everyone. So set the phone lock code to your mobile phone. So always use the lock on your mobile, lock code. Whether it may be a number pattern or it can use any other pattern to lock your mobile phone so that unknown users cannot open or access your mobile phone. So this will prevent the access of your mobile phone by the other people. The password should be easy to remember and difficult to trace. It should be in such a way that the best password should be in the following manner. Okay, that's the combination of your alphabets, numbers, and special characters. So try to avoid as your password as your name or date of birth or phone number or your beloved ones. Okay. So always try to back up your mobile phone. So whatever the data you are having inside the phone, whether the data can be a contact details or messages or photos, audios, videos, important files into your email content or external hard disk. You can take up a backup from your mobile phone. Okay. So after using your Bluetooth, kindly turn off the Bluetooth in order to avoid the unauthorized access. So another tip is that to switch off your Wi-Fi after accessing your internet. So because if it is open for a long time, then there will be a virus attack or occurrence of illegal activities to your mobile device. So avoid all the such kinds of things. So switch off your Wi-Fi accessibility after usage of internet. Okay. So always it will be safe to turn off your mobile tracking option in your phone. Okay, that is the option, the mobile tracking. So make sure that it is safe to turn on the mobile tracking option in your phone by giving your alternative number. So this will send you a message if phone got stolen. Okay. So suppose if you are losing or your mobile is lost, then the mobile tracking option, if it is set it as on, then it will give the alternative number. Okay. So don't respond to any unknowing message unknown message from the known numbers or unknown numbers. Okay. For example, you may get a message like this: a lottery fraud. You have been so and so. I have mentioned in a previous slide itself. Okay. So be careful. All these such kinds of warning or price cash messages. Okay. So update your mobile operating system also, and antivirus within regular intervals. Install the antivirus software inside the mobile phone also to increase the efficiency of your usage of mobile phones. So be cautious about every click in the website. If you unknowingly click the link of pop-up windows, that you are creating a way for the hackers to trace all your details, your personal information from your mobile phone itself. So avoid such kinds of activities. Okay. Next comes the system security guidelines. So set the login password, which is difficult to find or trace, or difficult to get. It should be a strong password. So whenever you leave away from the system and hold the Windows key plus L. So this will lock your system and prevent others to access your system. So make sure that while you are living away from the system, you can go on locking your system. Okay. So use original version of the software. Don't go with the free software. Some maybe the free software may be virus infected also. Make sure that you are downloading from the proper website. See, it will protect you from the software virus privacy problem also. So nowadays all the softwares are favorable of your budget also. So update your operating system, web browser, and email program on a regular basis. This will increase your system performance and also makes your system more secured manner. So threats are increasing day by day and thousands of viruses are discovered. So keep your antivirus updated to prevent from all such kinds of threats and viruses. Okay. Recommended antivirus software is K7. There are so many antivirus softwares are there. Okay, and so you have to be very cautious that when downloading the files from the internet. So make sure that the website is genuine and familiar to you. Okay, and use the personal firewall also. Okay, between your computer and the internet. Okay. So in today's world, even the very known persons can't be trusted. So they can go on with stealing your personal private data and use those data in the open accounts, purchase goods, transfer money without your knowledge. So be aware or try to check your account, change the passwords and account settings regularly. Every 15 days you can go on changing all these such kinds. Okay. So take the backup of your files frequently. If a virus infects your files, then at least you can replace them with your backup copy. So it's a good idea to store your backup in your CD or a flash drive in any other secure physical devices. Okay. And the last thing is social media security. So social media is nothing but the collection of online communication channels, which is dedicated to the community-based input, interactions are going on, content sharing is going on, and collaboration actions also carried out. Okay. So social media evolution, you can see Facebook, Twitter, 6 Degrees, Black Planet, all the social media evolutions in so and so years. Okay. And you can come on to the online safety precautions. We should keep in mind when using the social networking or social media. So social networking means opening up or sharing some information online with others. So never share some information, some secret or confidential information online. So never use the same password. So the same thing I am repeating again, the same guidelines. Okay. So ensure that your computer is up to date and has a good antivirus protection. and try to avoid mentioning where you work. Okay, so that if you mention something you thought innocent, they will not know who to target. Okay, so avoid such kinds. Yeah, always be cautious on the social media. If someone asks to be friends on a social networking site and the profile appears to match your workmate, so check personally with that person before accepting them. Okay, so all should be very carefully noticed. Okay, so protect yourself from sharing too much information can save you from identity theft also. So be aware that don't share any your personal information to the on the online. Okay. Don't assume you have to take whatever default privacy settings the site you give. Check out the settings, configuration, and privacy section to see what actions you have to limit, who who and what groups can see the various aspects of your personal information. So you have to check all these private default settings the site is giving you. So regularly you have to check your settings also. And the next thing, you should be careful who you become friends with online and what to share with them. So all these you should be very careful, and be careful how much information is in photos or videos you share. So please avoid sharing your photos or videos. For instance, could someone find out where you are in if you are pictured at a well-known venue or someone's house? So please avoid such kinds of activities. And if you are being seriously threatened and you feel that your life or children's life are at risk, so immediately you can report to the nearest cyber police station. Okay. And do not respond to the abuse. Keep evidence of the abuse such as screenshot or photo with your phone. Find out how to take a screenshot as evidence. So it will be a big proof. Okay. Turn the location services off in the settings of all the devices you use, and check the privacy settings on all social media. Okay. And report the abuse to the website it was posted on. It's a good first step to take. Okay. Then if you can block the person and ignore their post also. Okay. So safety measures to be carried out at LinkedIn. So would you put your full resume online for everyone to see? You will not do that. Okay. So it will be too easy for identity thieves to use your information to fill out loan applications and guessing your password security questions. So all these kinds may happen. Okay. So limit your work history details on sites like LinkedIn. Okay, LinkedIn. Sorry. If you feel you need the added information to help you in a job search, expand the details during this job hunting process. Then cut back later after you have a position. So leaving just enough information to the entities recruiters to contact you with the interesting new position. Okay. So be aware of how much identifying information you are posting on the internet through social networks and for the online purchases also. Okay. So my account has been hacked. What to do that? If suppose your account being hacked, you need to do one thing, change your password immediately, and if you are still worried, start a new account. Okay. Okay. Thank you for patient listening. Thank you, students. Okay, we will come on to the ending session of today's session.